Welcome to Kicking and Eating, where we talk about martial arts and what's happening. I'm your host, Shihan Chef, Yah Sigidi. And on today's show, we have the mother of Swam herself, the queen, Odette Sidagoo Russell. And her menu of choice, check it out: soy and chicken meatball salad. On today's Kicking and Eating. Let's go. Kicking and eating. We talk about martial arts and what's happening. Kicking and eating, kicking and eating. We're bricking bread on the spot thing. Kicking and eating, kicking and eating, kicking and eating with my guests. That's a sure thing. Kicking and eating. All praises due to the one that made all things. How you doing today, my sister?
I am honored. I'm fabulous.
No, we are honored, actually.
And
we are honored
to share the knowledge. What I have is for everybody.
Oh man, I was like, what is going on?
So sorry.
It is all good.
So I have Bob in the background. So
hi, Bob.
If you see him move, don't even talk. I don't even want to know.
Oh man, I see. We coordinated that. Actually, that's good. Yeah. Unintentionally, that is great. So, how you doing today?
I had a great day. Yes, I had a great day. I had classes. I got to hang out with my granddaughter.
Oh, that is great.
And one of my black belts, and training black belts is so much fun because their martial arts IQ is so high.
Oh,
so
wow.
Go into detail, and then out into they're into that. Actually, green belts and higher,
yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, no pain, no gain, my sister.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a wonderful day today. Work was real good.
Good.
Busy. NBC is a crazy place to work. But,
yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
A lot of different personalities, boy.
Yeah, definitely a lot of different personalities. Yeah, being a chef is crazy, but we got to do it.
Yeah. But if you the chef, and I'm not going to hold this up, but your demeanor is very important because your energy goes into your food.
It is, definitely.
I can't eat from an angry person. That sour anger goes into the food.
Yeah, we got to put in that love. Show love to make love. We got to definitely put in that love.
That's right.
Yeah, but tell us. Okay, born February 26, 1962. Tell us about growing up in the Bronx and what was it like for you? As a person. I mean, what was the climate like?
Well, this was 1962, and I was reared in the Bronx.
Okay.
So I knew nothing for the first probably 18 years of my life.
Wow.
The Bronx, and it was home. It was safe, even though we were in the projects. Okay, so we were actually in a co-op that was 4 buildings that was bought by somebody that was supposed to be part of the projects.
All righty.
But they put this fence around it, and it's like, okay, you're not part of the projects, you're a co-op.
Oh, wow.
Hired guards with their dogs that would walk around and patrol just those 4 buildings. And then everywhere else, we were just surrounded by projects. We were close to the highway, literally. We were right off the highway. Mm-hmm. So all I knew was traffic. That was what we were. Our buildings were like 15 stories high.
Wow.
So
what area was that?
This was Southeast East Bronx.
Okay.
For those who are my age, I'm 58. It's by the Corvettes.
Okay, all right.
Davidson High School is that. And White Plains and Story Avenue, Taylor Avenue, Soundview.
All right.
The Monroe projects. And I guess as a little girl, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You had thousands of friends. Everybody, our building faced the playground.
Oh wow.
So you would go play, and your mom would call out the window, and then you had to go upstairs. In those days, you didn't fear anything. You didn't fear pedophiles, and I'm sure
Wow.
they existed, but they weren't as prevalent.
Yes.
You never heard of human trafficking. You never heard of
Mhm.
abduction. You heard of, I think the word they used was perverts.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
heard perverts.
Yeah, stay away from that pervert.
Yeah, like, oh, he's a pervert. And so you always had that intuition, even as a child, that
Mhm.
something doesn't feel right. This person's not doesn't have the best agenda, and so you kind of stayed away. I remember, so my father was brown skinned, my mother was light skinned,
Oh
and
wow.
I remember my father was trying to explain to me what white was, what white people were, and I was
Mhm.
like, well, that just looked kind of like me. I don't know what the difference is, and I was like,
Wow.
this is hard, and it wasn't like I was exposed to racism, but he was trying to kind of alert me that I'm not going to necessarily be treated the way I felt to be, the way I feel to be treated, or the way he was raising me to be treated like a queen, because society where we're at doesn't necessarily see us the same way.
Yeah.
Now, my parents are Jamaican. I was born and raised, though, in America, so which I consider a Jamaican.
All right.
Um, um, and I'm proud of everything. I'm proud of
Mhm.
my Jamaican and my American. Uh, but I'm more American, where I don't know where I belong if I went to Jamaica. I don't know anybody there, and
Yeah.
So I know Jamaican food. I
All
know a
right.
little
Do you know
which
what
is
part of Jamaica that your family originally from?
my mother's from Spanish Town. My father's from
Okay.
King. Yeah, yeah,
From Kingston?
Kingston.
Oh, all right. So both your wow, both of them are from Yard. Yard the God.
Yes, yes, I got that too. And it's the craziest part is my youngest son, who played pro basketball, has his dual citizenship.
Oh,
Now
that's
his father's
dope.
American, but because of my lineage, he's able to get a Jamaican passport and his
Oh, that's nice.
citizenship. So he has an American, and he was born in America,
Mhm.
and he's Jamaican.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
I'm like, I need to go get my Jamaican passport and citizenship too. Put out
Is
here, you know,
it-
I'm Jamaican, because I understand it's hard to even fly anywhere right now with
I know. Oh my goodness. I mean,
Americans are taboo. It's
the
crazy.
the situation. I'm originally from Dominican, the Caribbean. That's Lower Antilles,
Yes,
and
yes, yeah.
and right now it is crazy going on there. You have to quarantine for 2 weeks
Yeah,
before
yeah.
you can get in, and you have to pay 1,500. It is,
Wow.
yeah, it is crazy right now. So with me, I pre-ordered my tickets for next year for
Hmm.
Carnival, like in February, but
Right.
hopefully everything will be good by the time I have to go down. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Were you close to your mother and your father?
Yes. Yes.
That's nice.
I am proud to say that my parents been together since death do their part. My father
Wow.
passed, which was about 20 years ago, and then my
Mm,
mother passed about 2 years ago.
wow.
So they've been, yeah, and I was blessed that my father and my mother were. There was me and two sisters. We were their priority, and we
Wow.
felt like they are their priority. Now, I didn't realize how lucky I am with having that type of childhood, until
Mhm.
I started teaching all the women that I started teaching, and
Yeah.
I would hear the stories of situations and scenarios that occurred that they had completely no control of. Imagine, as a child, you can't say, "Nah, I don't want her as a mother, but I want her as a mother. I want her." Like, we don't have a choice. And as a child, we are completely at the mercy of our guardians.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is whoever they leave us with,
Mhm.
how they feed us, how they take care of us, where our shelter is, are we safe? And I even remember at one point I spoke to one woman that she knew at 3 years old, that she knew what pure fear was from
Yeah.
3 years old. Pure
Wow.
fear. And I even knew one woman who had told me that at 5, she quickly learned how to bathe herself from 5 years old so her mother could stop molesting her during bath time, because that would be the time that the mother would molest her, is during bath time. So she quickly learned how to bathe herself.
Wow.
And so hear stories like that, I'm like, oh, Ma, Dad, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. And that is, when you think of the first primal years of your life, the second year, the third year, everything that occurs within that time sticks with you and molds you and determines how you process things for the rest of your life.
Yes. So which one were you closer to? You were you a daddy's girl or a little of both?
I was the middle child. So I wasn't daddy's girl, but I didn't feel neglected. I was definitely a troubled teenager. I would experiment with drugs. I really wasn't into a lot of boys. I learned very early that respecting my body was a temple, was very important. So I wasn't promiscuous and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that type of experimenting, but I was like trying to be the tough kid. I think being light skinned, where people couldn't figure out, is she Puerto Rican? Is she white? Is she black? What is she? What is she?
Is she coolie?
Well, I'm from New York, so
Yeah.
I wasn't asked if I was Native American or Cuban. I was thought of maybe as Puerto Rican or light skin and stuff like that. And I guess, that condoms, where that assumption that because you're light skin, you're soft or you're weak. So I had to develop thick skin very quickly, especially just because I didn't live in the projects didn't mean I didn't hang out in the projects, and it didn't mean I didn't go to school with friends who lived in the projects. So I was tried because I was light skinned, tall, had long hair. I was in that category. She thinks she's cute. And I'm like, how are you going to assume I think I'm cute,
Think she all that. Nah, the way they say, she thinks she all that.
And the minute I hear that, I knew we were going to fight. I was like, okay, here we go. But I knew from a very young age. I remember, I think from the 3rd grade, I was bullied one time by someone who was probably in like the 5th grade. And, just those 2 years, that's a big jump. They're a lot taller, a lot mature. The mental state is even different. And I was scared. I remember being scared. It was in the bathroom. But I remember I didn't like that.
Is that when you went to Adlai E. Stevenson High School?
No, I was in 3rd grade. I was in PS 100.
All right, PS 100.
And I couldn't tell you who bullied me because it wasn't even that important. It was just one girl who did it one time. And I knew I didn't like it. And I knew that wasn't going to happen to me again. And I knew that I wasn't going to start a fight, but I wasn't going to back away from a fight. I remember that from then, that I was never going to back away from a fight again. So I more became like a bully slayer. And so what that means, no, seriously, I was the one that if I seen you bullying somebody, I was going to beat you up in front of the person you bullied, and then hold you down so the person you bullying will beat your ass. And that was I'm going to reverse the tide on the bully. I didn't understand the psychological aspect of what was going on with the bully, that the bully would have a pure insecurity in themselves, and to try to reflect that insecurity by causing pain on someone else.
Yeah.
because what I actually did probably made the situation worse, and for the bully at least, not for the victim. But
Well, that is funny because you know the title of your of this podcast for you is Warrior Queen. Warrior Queen is the title of your podcast.
Okay, that's cool. What I like to do is bring out the warrior queen in women. So
All
it's
right.
very, but it's not that I'm the warrior queen, that whoever's watching becomes a warrior queen.
Wow.
And so I'm hoping by the end of the show, through me demonstrating on Bob or my words of wisdom or what I'm sharing or just kind of life experience, that I bring out the best in that person, you know,
dope.
what they see in themselves.
To the one that made all things. Jumbo, 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 jumbo. Big up the ranks that's hitting like gumbo. Podcast lit like power with a jitsu. EP down from bouncy to bolo. Fight with the topics when I interview. It's easy to gritty like sharp as Kinsu. Each one teach one, then we continue. Build and destroy all negative around you. Spilling all the beans so we could grow and feed you. Like and subscribe so we could later hit you. Power, form, technique.